everybody. Another morning, another part that we've never shown on GAKidsTV, another part of the store. What I wanted to quickly touch on, I mentioned it yesterday about extending the season as much as you can. And you can see behind me, we've got a fire bowl, we have a large fire table, and they're great. You know, anything to extend that season. And we've also got these heaters. Now this heater isn't gonna make you toasty warm, but it takes the chill off like you wouldn't believe. And then this aesthetic, it's a tabletop, and this is a Canadian company, I believe Quebec. And you just fill it up with a fluid and you light it and it gives off a small amount of heat and you get the aesthetic. So, you know, again, it's anything we can do to prolong that season. Like me, you know how they say you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day?
You did it.
You
did it.
I think it's don't wear white after Labor Day unless your shirt has cute little crustaceans on it.
Oh, that's okay now.
I'm pretty sure that's the rest of that. I don't know. But again, follow me for fashion advice. So, you know, if you want to extend your autumn season, your summer season, whatever, great ways to do it, and just help take that frosty chill off. Like I said, you can put up those Edison bulb lights, and then have fun with some heaters and take the edge off. But again, moving inside, we couldn't talk about moving inside without talking about houseplants. And I want to show you guys these super cool terrariums we just got in. So, you know, if you look at it, like look at the bottom, right? It's all weird shape. And what they do apparently is they take the glass, they heat it up to a certain point. So look at the wood. You can see that that wood is burned. Like this is real wood. And they take it, so it's in the correct shape, but it's still malleable. And then literally they form fit it to the piece of wood. And it is so, so cool. These are like one of my favorite terrarium lines ever. Look at the size of them too. We've got traditional little like fishbowl ones, and you can put fish in them too. It doesn't have to be a terrarium, it can be an aquarium. I don't know why it took me so long to put that in. It can be an aquarium. Like I just invented them.
Realized it.
But we've even got these massive ones too. And literally, it's the it echoes. But they're eco-friendly, and they are really, really, really fun. Put Halloween candy in them. I don't know how it goes back on the stand.
They're that form-fitted.
Yep, literally. I'm gonna figure this one out now. Can you do another technical video, Brandy, where we're having technical problems?
I'll just put Jeopardy music on you.
Yeah.
That's just like that.
I can't quite figure this one out. That is, like Brandy said, literally how form-fitting they are. But anyway, I'll leave that one for somebody better than me. But these terrariums, they're awesome. You can have a lot of fun with them. And like I said, they're all handcrafted. It's real wood. And what you can see as well is in some of them, you know, we got some succulents and stuff like that. Well, we know a lot of times people have difficulty with certain plants. So we've got an incredible array of artificials. And the reason for that, and don't get me wrong, I always love my real plants. We've touched on it so many times. I like getting my hands dirty. I like my house plants. I like my garden plants. I like veggies. I like perennials. I know a lot of times people are only interested in plants such as like trees or food production. I personally love ornamentals. I love a full ornamental perennial bed and then annual pots put throughout. Again, especially we have a short season. I want to see greenery and color. But not everybody has a green thumb. Some people are still learning, or they want to have something in an area that isn't adequately lit. And we're going to talk about lighting next week. But in the meantime, there's nothing wrong with coming and getting some sprigs, you know, different succulents, putting them together, finding the right terrarium, and making your own arrangement. And I guarantee, for the most part, people who come in and look at that, they won't, unless you go over and touch, they're really not going to know. And all the plants I've got in my house and all the people that come in, not that I have that many people visit, it's not like I'm Johnny Popular, but not once have I ever had a house guest come in and go straight over and start grabbing my house plants to see if they're real or fake. And the thing is, yeah, you know what? I like real plants, and we've talked about how real plants can help clear the air, and how it can be cathartic working with them, how it can be fun doing cuttings, arrangements, that kind of stuff. But let's not forget as well that the color green and having plants in a house is actually beneficial for anxiety, depression, and stress. And in no way, shape, or form do I advocate this as a cure. Not at all. Talk to your doctor. Like, those are serious, serious problems. But if this can alleviate some of it, it's better. And you know, if you do have an illness like a depression, sometimes it can be hard to care for something. I get it. I have friends who suffer from depression. So you know what? Get one that you don't have to care about. You're not going to kill it. Nothing bad is going to happen to it. It gets dusty. You don't even have to dust the leaves. Hold it under a tap. Wash it. Stick it back in. You're done. So there's a ton that can be done. And you can get a terrarium and you can really, really set up something nice. As you can see, we've got succulents over here. We've got different sized plants here, or the air plants. And you'd be hard pushed. If I held up a real air plant in this one, you'd be hard pushed at telling which one was actually real. And you know what? Air plants are one that I can't keep alive. My air plants never, ever, ever do great. I keep them in the bathroom, I let them get the humidity, etc., etc. They never, ever, ever seem to make it. So that might be one that I would go with, because I love them. I think they're incredible plants and a lot of fun, but I can't keep mine alive. So if we go over to this side, they don't just have to be those small sprigs that we were talking about. I know a ton of people love bonsai, but again, they have difficulty keeping it alive. It can be really, really tricky, and it really upsets them when it dies. Go with an artificial one, and you know what? Have one of these, practice on a real one. There's nothing wrong with mixing the two together. There's nothing wrong with mixing a couple of mediums. Orchids. Everybody, we have a huge selection of orchids. You now see them everywhere. You know, all the big box stores carry them. And a question we get asked repeatedly is, how do I get my orchid to rebloom? My orchid was blooming, it looked amazing, the blooms fell off as they do. How do I get it to rebloom? And the tropicals field that. You know what? I think we might have orchids in. We're gonna talk about real orchids and blooming tomorrow. I just thought of that. Why? I don't think we've really ever talked about orchids. I hope we have some in. If not, I'm going to use an artificial one. Wham! Look how I tie everything together. But with these, you don't have to. Keep it in bloom. I know, you know, white orchids are really popular for the spring. What's wrong with having them at this time of year? Like we said, you know, last week, the amount of people who come in and want to buy tulips in the spring, but they can't. Well, what's wrong with having, you know, white orchid flowers in the fall, in the winter, in the summer? Have them whenever you want. We've got monsteras. There's so much, and some of them even come in really fun decorative pots. And again, you stick that on your mantle, and few people are going to know it's an artificial. You don't have to worry about lighting conditions. You don't have to worry about parasites. And it's a great way to introduce you into that, you know, into the world of plants and enjoying them. And then you go, you know what, I really enjoy this. I want to up my game and get some real ones, and you can start. And you're not limited to plants either. We've got these magnificent dahlias, and what a great fall color, right? And then these tiny, fun little pots, okay? They've got the burlap basket on them, and they look great. Have fun with stuff like that. There's no one size fits all. I don't care if people have an artificial plant or if they have a real plant. I love seeing greenery when I go in somewhere. And if you can, if you have a look in the back here, we've got some really big ones too, some fiddly figs. I know people love these. Jenny and I have one. Ours is doing great. But not everybody can do it. And you look at that, you can put that in a really, really fun, nice, big, funky pot, right? That's literally how it looks. It's an artificial. If that was a real one, you're going to be limited to the pots you can use. So, you know, have fun. Come in and select a few. Put them in areas where, you know, people might not expect you to have, like, oh my God, how are they able to grow a bonsai? There's no light. Or how are they able to grow that? There's too much light. And then you can also have fun as well with these mosses. For the terrariums and even for around these plants, we've got a great collection of mosses. Now, personally, if it was me doing it, I like the more natural ones, but I know a lot of people love their colors. And you can cycle them out. Oh, am I able to grab it? I need extra hands here. You're able to cycle them out and put in different colors at different times of year. And you can have fun with it, right? It's that time of year, it's fall, so you could take some of this moss, put it around your bonsai, boom. You've spruced it up. Nobody has to know that, you know, anything is artificial or real, and there's no judgment here. Honestly, I look at these, there are times, I'm not gonna lie, when I get home, it's been a long week, and I really don't want to water all my plants. I really don't want to, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it seems like a chore, other times it's fun, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm enjoying it. And that's most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably 90% of the time. I love working with my plants. But 10% of the time, it's a chore. And it's a pain in the butt. Right now, I've got a massive selection of plants in a section of my house, and it's getting to the time of year where it's going to be too cold for them in that area. It's kind of the mud room. When you walk in, there's a mud room, gets a ton of sun, and the plants love it in the spring, summer, and autumn, but the winter it's too cold for them. So now I've got to find a new place for them, I've got to set them all up, I've got to make sure they all live, and it becomes a chore. Great thing about these, they're never going to grow. You never, oh, doggo, sorry.
What? It's just, this is what happens when we venture.
This is why I keep me very local. But yeah, these guys are never going to need a fertilizer. They're never going to need a soil. They're never going to have a pathogen on them. Like I said, most they're going to get is some dust. They don't need to be transplanted. So a few of these and a few live ones, boom, you got the best of both worlds. You can have your house filled with green, and you don't have to worry too much about it. But with all that being said, we're going to do a refresher. We talked pretty extensively in the spring about houseplants, but we didn't cover everything. For example, orchid blooms. And do you have to do anything different now that winter is coming and you have a houseplant? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And we're going to discuss what you need to do to care for your houseplants during the winter. Maybe where it was in the summer, it was great, but now it's going to get not nearly enough light. They go into dormancy. Can you keep them blooming? Should you fertilize? And are there plants that require fertilizer in the winter? So again, it's a real mixed bag, and we know there can be a ton of information out there. It can be confusing. So in the next couple of days, we're going to address all of that. And keep you guys successful and happy with your houseplants. But I did want to touch on these because I think it's a great option for a number of people. So have a wonderful day, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow where we hopefully get our hands dirty and we talk about houseplants. Bye, everyone.